All right. Welcome to Star Enlightenment. Hope everybody can hear me. Welcome back to Star Enlightenment, another interesting video on live. You can tell by the title. It's going to be a simple but very short and quick, very thorough and brief video about spiritual responsibility. So, get into it just like the title implies and encourages. Having a sense of spiritual responsibility is important. It's a trait that a lot of people lack these days. It is something that a lot of people don't accept, right? So, I've already said things about this before. I've already talked about this before. But it just come back to light when you realize the things that we manifest in our life all come down to our own spirits. Now, it's not to discredit anybody that it is in the sense of, let's say, religion, under a certain philosophy, a way of thinking, an overall constructed, formatted way of living. And ain't nothing wrong with these things because these are all things that help our spirits expand. Everybody's on their own journey of what they need at the moment. And whether things, no matter how it plays out, everything has a yin and yang, everything has a good and bad, there's benefits and everything, negatives and everything. But as long as you're aware and you're seeking the knowledge, and you can be more aware of what is good for you. But anyway, getting into it, you got to understand that the things that we manifest in our life, the situations and people, are representative of the state of being that we are in. A lot of times we want specific things in our lives, or we just want a certain quality of life, whatever area of life that's dealing with, whether it's sexually, we want to be taken care of in that area and pleased in that area. Emotionally, aka the people that we connected to, you see what I'm saying, in our relationships. And from a higher point of view, whatever we're into as far as our purpose or path or career, you know what I'm saying. A lot of some people in spirituality, there's many different things we want to be fulfilled in, but understanding that when you realize that in your own life, your spirit is the thing manifesting these things, then you realize that you have to take the spiritual responsibility. If you're in a situation where you're in a financial deficit or you're lacking physical currency at the moment, you got to understand that, okay, this is dealing with my own internal energies and my own spirit. If you're not manifesting that much sexual pleasure, sex in your life, or things like that, you know that you got to realize, okay, this is my energy that is off. Usually dealing with one of the chakras. That all because all that is internal energy in the first place. And you got to realize that your internal energy is off, and this is why you're not manifesting in that area. If you're not manifesting people that you can connect to on a deeper level that make you feel comfortable, you got to realize that this is your energy centers, your aka your internal world that's off, your internal energy and your internal spirit that's off, etc., etc., etc. So it's not for you to point blame at something outside of yourself. I feel like, oh, this is God's fault. This is something outside of you. Because shout out Logo Century. Shout out Logo Century. Good to see you, Logo Century, in the building. Let's get it. Feel free to ask any questions. Feel free to do whatever you want to do. Troll, ask questions. We accept it all here. This is the friendly channel. But anyway, back to it, right? Understand that whenever we lack a certain energy in our life that we feel like we deserve or we feel like we should get or we feel like we want, you gotta always understand that if we're not manifesting that or attracting that in our life, that's because internally we don't have that energy or internally a part of us is off. So this is why the knowledge of the chakras and internal energy centers are important because each energy center deals with a certain aspect of life, a certain area of life. Like of course the root chakra deals with your sexuality and your stability and your security in your own life. The heart chakra and that emotional center deals with your ability to connect with others on a deeper level, but also have people in your life that you can feel comfortable opening up to in the first place. People that truly resonate with you and your vibration. The higher chakras deal with your overall sense of conscious awareness and intuition and knowledge of spirituality, philosophy, but also your purpose, career, and path in general. You see what I'm saying? And your broad out view and outlook on life in general. Um, when any of these chakras, there's many different chakras. When any of these chakras that deal with any of these areas of life are debilitated, or we're not putting no energy into them, then we're gonna lack energy in that area of life. AKA, we're gonna lack having or being fulfilled in that area of life. So we're gonna be in a situation where we'll be like, oh, why, man, why I have such a hard time attracting a partner? Why I have such a hard time attracting people in my life, real friends or whatever like that? It's because your own energy centers are off. You lack energy yourself. A person with more energetic currency in their life is going to automatically attract more experiences in their life in general. Now, how they orchestrate their own energy is up to them, whether good or bad. But in general, the person that has more energy and more currency is going to have a what's the word to say it? They're going to attract more circumstances, situations in their life. So, like, you think about somebody who, you know, is a celebrity or a star. They got tons of energy. So they're attracting a lot of stuff. Now, it can go in a negative way, it can go in a positive way, depending on how their own spirit chooses to carry that out. But at the end of the day, it don't matter. They still manifesting a lot of energy. You see what I'm saying? But that's just a small example. But you just gotta understand and I did a video on this before. This is important. I'm gonna say this. There's two main forms of are sources of energy. You got that both deal with your spirit. So you got a person's spirit size, aka how expanded their spirit are. That's how much knowledge they already know. That's how much experience they have. This is why they call some people older spirits or wiser spirits or old excuse me, they call them old souls. They be like 9, 10, 12, 13 years old, 15 years old. They call them old souls. Just give me examples. So this is a person whose spirit is a little bit more broader. So their spirit takes up more space, and they're in a situation where they're also low key more influential, whether seen or unseen. They play out as a light in the esoteric realm as far as they take up more space spiritually. So more people are conform to their thought forms and ideas. You see what I'm saying? In many different ways. Shout out to the subconscious community for that knowledge. But that's good. That means that they've lived so many different lives, and it could be in any world that they live. It could be in this world they live. It could be in this world and other worlds. But they've been born and they died so many times. They lived so many different lives that each life is an expansion because it's a form of knowledge and experience. It's just like when you get into an activity that you might have never did before. That's an expansion. So your spirit is that much more broader now. You have that much more awareness now. You see what I'm saying? So your spirit size is that much broader. A person with a huge spirit size usually has a lot of experience, um, and a lot of knowledge in usually multiple different areas. Um, but some spirits may be one particular area, some spirits may be another area. Everybody got their own, but it's still gonna be filled with knowledge and light and information. But now the second form of spiritual currency is your actual internal energetic currency, your internal chi, your internal light, your inner light, your ability to have a sense of enlightenment, your ability to know yourself more. You see what I'm saying? Internally, um, your internal brightness, how bright you are as a star, how much aura you have. All that deals with more so internal energy, which more so is correlated to like more soul. Um, Type stuff like that. And that's why I always say you can have a person with a real broad spirit, right? A real more expansive spirit, and they'll be in a situation where they will take up more space, aka they'll have more influence as far as people will be in a situation where they'll have a lot of information and people confide to their thought forms, and a lot of they may have a lot of followers in ways that are seen and unseen, you know. But that doesn't mean that their quality of life is gonna be great. Because if you got a broad spirit, yeah, you're more influential. Yeah, your spirit takes up more space. Yeah, a lot of people may conform to your thought forms and the ways that you do things, and you become a trend in many different ways that you may not even be aware of. But at the same time, if you broad in spirit, but you lack internal light, you lack a lot of light and chi, you're not that bright, you don't have that much energetic currency, then you're gonna find that your quality of life is gonna be less. You're gonna have a lesser quality of life. So even though you still are your own source, because you're broad enough to sustain yourself in this reality, but your actual quality of life may be off, or you may not be manifesting things in your life the way you want to in your own life. Whether that's your sex life because your root chakra off, or you're not spinning, whether that's your heart chakra and people that you can't connect to, you feel lonely, you can't connect to nobody because your heart chakra off, whether that's, you see what I'm saying? Whatever. But in some shape or form, you're gonna lack these things in your life. Um, you see what I'm saying? But if you a smaller spirit, because you could be a smaller spirit. So say you a small spirit, right? So you're not as broad as the last example I just made. Say you a smaller spirit, but at the same time you still in the situation where your spirit is very bright. You have a lot of internal chi. You have a lot of energetic chi. You have a lot of energetic currency. You got a lot of energetic currency flowing through your body. You see what I'm saying? You got a lot of light, inner light, your enlightenment. You got a lot of knowledge of yourself internally. So your brightness level is bright. Your aura is bright and strong. So even though your spirit is not as broad, you still have more light and more radiating energy emanating off of you than a person that has a broader spirit that's dull and dim. So even though your spirit may not take up as much space, aka you may not be as influential, more people may not be aware of the way your ways of doing things, but it'll be a situation where in your own personal life, even if it is a few people that you're aware of and got access to, the things in your own immediate life is going to be much more powerful and more potent. Your quality of life in general may be more potent or more better in the sense of you may be in a situation where the people that are in your immediate life that you do deal with every day will feel the presence of you. So you may be more of an influence around the people that you already around. So even though you're not as broad as the other person I was talking about with the broad spirit that's dull and down, but the people that you are around, you influence them heavily. Or people feel the energy and chi off of you. People may respect you. You may be an influence in your own little bubble, the small people that you are around. Um, you may attract more things in your own life because if you that bright as a spirit, if you smaller, even though your spirit may be smaller, if you that bright, like your root chakra is spinning, your root chakra is broad, you got a lot of sexual energy. That's the root chakra. Your heart chakra is very broad. You got a lot of emotions and feelings. Um, you know what I'm saying? Your higher chakra, your imagination is broad, so you may be aware. If it's really like that, then that means you're gonna be manifesting maybe a lot of sex in your life. From a emotional point of view, you may be manifesting a lot of relationships with people who you generally can care or cater to, or that can cater to you, that they really f with you for you and bump with your own vibration the way you feel about things. Or you'll be in a situation where you might manifest a person that actually loves you for you and that you can actually love back, or a person, place, or thing that you can actually love and dedicate your time to. Um, and then with your higher chakras being open and spinning and being broad, you might be in a situation where you actually might manifest more knowledge in your life, or you may have a broader imagination. So then, how do I say it? Be in a situation where you're very creative. You see what I'm saying? You may be more creative than the next person because your creativity that's from like the higher chakras. Like your creativity, your conscious awareness, um, and like spirituality, all that stuff like that. That deal with like the higher chakras, like your intuition, all that stuff. That deal with more so like the higher chakras. So those opportunities and things will be more unlocked to you in your own life. So in other words, I'm saying your quality of life may be more potent. It don't make you better than another person. The person that's broader and more dull though is not better than you. And just because you smaller but brighter doesn't make you more better than them. Y'all all have your advantages and disadvantages. But in general, it's important more so to have brightness because brightness is more so a part of who you actually are. So everybody has the ability to achieve brightness, but not everybody focuses and builds these things up. The brightness is just how much soul and whole soul and internal spirit and how much internal soul you have that's radiating from you. So that's more closer to the energy realm. So it's gonna be easier for you to manifest physical things in your life faster than the person who's broad as a spirit. So they still sustain themselves as realm of reality. That's still a sense of spiritual currency, and it's gonna manifest in mystical and mysterious ways where they end up being taken care of in some shape or form. You see what I'm saying? But their own quality of life may not be great. Okay, I'm gonna end it out like this. Look at it like this. You know those people like I'm not trying to be funny, but you know like Bill Gates. I'm not saying he got a problem with his sexual life or nothing, but I'm just saying like you got like Bill Gates of the world, the Mark Zuckerbergs of the world, very known people, almost like celebrities. You got those big millionaires who they got all these assets. They know a whole bunch of stuff. They're very intelligible, very knowledgeable. Can tell you a multitude of a major load of things that you could know. But at the same time, in their own life growing up, they had a hard time getting like sex in their life, or they had a hard time getting friends in their life that really cared for them, that wasn't trying to use them in some shape or form. And then when they get older, they may be able to attract these things, but it's only because they have the money that's actually buying these things, or they don't even know if their wife really there for them. For them, their wife may be there because just for the money. The wife only giving her cootie up because she get the benefit of his money. Like situations like that. That's what I'm talking about. So you can be broad as a spirit. That's the example. They broad as a spirit. They're a source of their own and everything, but their quality of life. A lot of people end up taking their own life. They end up taking their own life. A lot of millionaires that their own quality of life internally is not fulfilled, they end up taking their own life. So these people are examples of they have broad spirits, but their own internal chi, their own internal enlightenment, their own internal energy, their own energetic currency may be off. So they still got currency because their spirit is broad, and that manifests into different things. You see what I'm saying? But their own internal energetic output, their own internal energy radiance, their own aura is not that strong. So they'll be in a situation where they may be sustained in this realm of reality from such a form, but their own quality of life of genuinity is not there. Whereas you take a person whose spirit is much smaller, say he's not famous at all, he's not a celebrity, he's not a millionaire, none of that. He not even known nowhere near as much as the other person. But even though their spirit be smaller, in their own little neighborhood or in their own little area, their own little city, they popping. In their own little city, the small few people that they are around, they lit. You see what I'm saying? People respect their space. they still play out as a small influence. Maybe not as broad as the other, the Mark Zuckerberg and Bill Gates, but they still an influence of people who they around in their immediate families, in their immediate life. So in their own life, in their own immediate relationships that they already in, people still respect them more for who they are. You see what I'm saying? And they chakras are already lit. They chakras may be already aligned and not even be aware of it. So their internal light is already strong. But that's what internal light is. That's like how good or bright our chakras is, how broad they is, etc., etc. So their internal chakra may already be lit. Their root chakra may be already spinning and lit. Their heart chakra may be already lit and spinning and well and broad. They higher chakras may be already broad. So AKA higher chakra is already broad. So they may already have a broad sense of creativity in their life. They may have a broad imagination. They may have real good creativity. So they can do, they may be a singer, whatever they want to do. They got good creativity, an artist, whatever. From a heart chakra point of view, they may be in a situation where they manifest a lot of people who actually like them for them, who want to be around them for them. They're not cheaping them, getting around them, cheaping them out because of their money. They genuinely want to be around them for them. They may manifest more relationships in their life that genuinely cater to them. You're gonna always get some F boys and some F people in their life, male or woman, that faking you out for whatever benefit. But in general, they just may manifest more friends, relationships, and partners in their life in general that really cater to them, that actually look at them like they F with them. They got a real group, a real posse, a real group that actually hang with them, a real clique that hang with them for them. They feel like they belong to something. You see what I'm saying? Heart chakra energy. Root chakra energy is lit. They energy may be lit too. So they may be in a situation where they don't have a problem manifesting sex in their life. They don't have a problem manifesting somebody to actually cater or please them in that area sexually. So getting some punani or getting some cootie or manifesting sex in their life ain't never been a problem. They may have females or men or whatever they are, male or woman, that come up to them that won't them. You see what I'm saying? They don't even have to problem with these things. So you see what I'm saying? That's what I be meaning when I say I do feel like internal chi and your own internal light and your own inner chi and enlightenment is way much more low key important than just your spirit size. Because although you still need both of these things, you need to blend them out both. There's benefits and cons to both. I really don't want to look like one is better than the other. But in this reality, in this life, like I can't lie. Like I could say that the having a sense of aura, internal light is gonna be more powerful. Cause we all live in our life in different shapes and forms, different not different shapes and forms, in different modalities, different levels. Some people live a real broad life. They real known. They're a celebrity. They're very influential. Some people just live in regular day-to-day life in their small little neighborhood. Some people known in their city. It don't matter. But of any size, you can always build a sense of light, and that's why I say I feel like that's more important. Because no matter how big or bright your spirit is, you'll always technically be your own source, and you'll always have a certain quality of life. Your manifestation to be much more higher. Now, what you do with that and how you utilize that is up to you. But it's important to realize that. And that's the biggest breakdown. I hope you understand what I mean by spirit size versus spirit light or brightness. I look at it like stars. You got stars that are bigger than others, but they may not be as bright. You got some stars who are smaller than others, but extremely bright. So they may not be felt as far off as a presence as you, or they may not be as influential to other stars and things around it and planets to it, um, as a bigger star might be, but that small star still be in a situation where as soon as you get close to its bubble, you feel its presence. You see what I'm saying? So you may be all the way over there in this space or whatever. You may not even be fully aware of that smaller star because it may not be as influential. The spirit is not as broader. The star is not as broader for it to be acknowledged of everywhere as broad as the other person's big old star is. But as soon as you get into that little star's bubble, you automatically feel its presence. You gotta respect it. You're gonna feel that energy. You respect its energy. So the people that it's around in this life, no matter how broad or how small, they feel its energy and it's well respected from where it's at. And that's what I'm talking about. That's what I be meaning. So I hope you understand what I'm saying. Whereas the broader stars still got access and stuff like that, but it's very influential. It's known by a multitude of people and things. But its own life could be chaotic depending on its own internal energy centers and how well its chakras are put together. You see what I'm saying? Because all your brightness is your knowledge, aka your knowledge, and what you aware of, your conscious awareness. How many times you've been birthed and died, aka you live more lives, so your spirit is older, obviously, so you're more broader. And how much experience that you have. All those are the same exact thing, because obviously the more lives you live, the more experience and more knowledge you have. So each life you come into, you be that much more smarter because you have that much more of ability. That's how you get to end up being, especially if Earth is the only world you have been to. That's how you end up being a Bill Gates or Mark Zuckerberg. You live so much damn life, so eventually you master this Earth from. You know how to get it. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to say. But You can be a source whatever world you in, even if you haven't mastered it, when you got your own internal energies right. And that's real. But anyway, I hope that's the best that I could have said it. I really can't go no further than that. There's no better way for me to break that down. I hope y'all understand what I'm trying to say and y'all get it just what I'm saying. Feel free to go back into the video. Um, any misunderstandings, feel free to ask me questions. For any misunderstandings, feel free to ask me anything you want me to make a video about. Put in a comment in the chat section, and I will get back with you. And peace. Y'all have a great day. Let me know if y'all need anything, and appreciate y'all for understanding. Feel free to ask questions. Peace.